go to the next slide. There we go. So OSIRIS, let me start with some mission archive status highlights. OSIRIS-REx, all the instruments are delivering quarterly on schedule. There is one exception, the laser altimeter, but that's just suspending deliveries until it gets an update to its pipeline for calibration. And the quarter deliveries are expected to continue through May 2020. Also worth noting is that the small bodies image browser now contains all of the OCAM's data up through the sample retrieval portion. And that's, of course, illustrated here with the footprint and the foot itself, the sample collection. So as you saw in the PA's marvelous talk yesterday. So moving along, the other another mission highlight, New Horizons and New Horizons Kuiper Belt extended mission data are on time and are released on schedule. The New Horizons Pluto encounter fourth delivery was lean resolved in August and released and archived that same month. Likewise, the second chem delivery, Kuiper Belt extended mission delivery, was released in August. The third delivery from the Arakoth encounter, that was reviewed in December, early December, and is now in lean correction. New Horizons is a PDS 3 standard mission, and we're preparing now to migrate it to PDS 4, and we've identified the first data set that we'll be migrating. SBN will be responsible with the help of the missions of the New Horizons mission for that migration. Similarly, Rosetta is a PDS-3 mission, very successful. It's delivered over 950 data sets, 25 terabytes worth of data. It's awaiting some final product deliveries, but most of the data, of course, has been delivered, and we're preparing to migrate this data as well to PDS-4. Instrument data dictionaries are almost complete, and the migration to PDS-4 is being, the data sets, some small data sets are being worked on for migration to PDS-4. Updates on Hayabusa 2. The Hayabusa 2 reviews are going very well, thanks to the excellent work of the Hayabusa 2 instrument teams and the archive team. We've had 2 reviews that have been completed, and 3 are in progress presently, and those are looking very good. In terms of future missions, the DART, we'll start with the DART. Their archive plan is finalized. Lucy, we heard from a little earlier today, their interface control document has been finalized, and their archive plan is due later this year. Psyche, their science data management plan has been finalized, and they're working now on their system interface documentation. NEO surveyor diameters will also be archived to the SBN, and along with the rest of the NEOWISE, we're expecting the rest of the NEOWISE diameters as well for the remainder of that mission. Just a summary of the data totals. There is now over 104 terabytes worth of data in our archive. That is quickly growing, mostly owing to the increase in surveys being archived at SBN. NEAT, Spacewatch, Catalina, NEAT is already archived. It's about 10 terabytes of our archive compressed. Atlas, we are starting to receive deliveries from Atlas. About 16 terabytes now resides at the SBN. And Spacewatch is being reviewed. We've received a full donation, and that is being lean corrected presently. And then Catalina Sky Surveys just finishing up their delivery and ingestion pipelines. So that should turn on very soon for nightly deliveries. Just some developments in terms of software and standards. There's been an update regarding radio science at the PDS. There's now an agreed upon interface control document for Deep Space Network TRK 234 files. This may seem like a bit of a corner, but that was very important corner case, but that is very important case for the OREX mission and for other small bodies missions. Those files are critical for understanding gravity science through radio science, and they were not compatible or not easily compatible with PDS-4. Now there is a way to map those into PDS-4 friendly files outlined in this document. New variations of line ending markers and digital files are being supported. Particularly the Unix-based line feed line ending markers are now accommodated. Previously, only Microsoft carriage returns were used for line ending markers, but now line feeds will be accommodated. So, and that's been agreed upon. There's been a new release of the PDS-4 viewer. Check the SBN site for the details on that. And we're also looking for feedback to a new look and feel being demonstrated at the SBN PSI website here. So please visit that and tell us what you think. Another development, the catalog, the Comet Asteroid Telescope Catalog Hub service is now in operation. It began its beta release operations in October. This is a search tool for our ever expanding survey data sets that allows for searching of individual small bodies and has an effective name resolution over name resolution service. And then the API is an API-based tool with a GUI overlay on it. There are near-term future augmentations that include sky position search capability, so input of sky coordinates. And then at that point, we'll also start folding in the Atlas and Catalina Sky survey data. We're also just starting to investigate possible cloud implementation of this service. So, we continue our support with of the International Asteroid Warning Network. We support the main page, of course, and with the help of NEO Sciences' Tim Spar, also who is the manager for the main page. He and SBN contribute member stories regarding membership, and he manages the membership of the IWAN queries, or helps to manage that. Also, we are helping to support and organize the Apophis 2020 campaign. We support the website and as well as the organization of that campaign. But the campaign coordinator is Vishnu Reddy out of Arizona. This is a good opportunity to finalize characterization before the 2029 Apophis close approach. And more details are available at the website shown here. There are a number of Minor Planet Center and SBN Archive joint activities. We have developed, particularly Ann Rao has worked closely with the MPC personnel to develop a technical schema for issuances of DOIs for MPECs and monthly products. We've helped coordinate with Solar SOHO and other sun-grazing comet observatories to test the sun-grazing comet capabilities and stand up again that capability at the MPC. But really, that is the accomplishment of the new orbit improvements made at the MPC. And then small bodies name resolution service is being coordinated with the MPC. The MPC is helping to stand up APIs for cross ID resolution that utilize their new database tables. Regarding the new database, we are maintaining backups of both the former and back-end product Maria database used in the older pipeline, but also the backup copies and Postgres of the Postgres, the new Postgres database. We're also responsible for distribution of the Postgres database. We are presently testing failover strategy. We've identified a preferred methodology for our failover for the database distribution. The next levels are for testing for scale. Right now it's just a two-node cluster we're testing it on, but we're hoping to expand that soon for testing for scale, and then migrate that failover capability to a machine at PSI as a hot standby failover server. And of course, we have products on the SBN MPC Annex showing the health and of the Postgres and Maria databases and their most recent updates.
2 more minutes.
Okay, great, thank you. Just a quick overview of the Minor Planet Center developments. In terms of the, just to recall that the Minor Planet Center is now a subnode of the Small Bodies node. It will be evaluated in the senior review later this year for the NASA Planetary Data Systems as part of the Small Bodies node. And the users group meetings meet twice per year, usually on site at the CFA for one of these meetings. Both these meetings last time have been virtual meetings. They are expanding their cloud computing, their computing infrastructure by incorporating cloud computing, working to incorporate cloud computing capabilities through AWS to accommodate larger processing capabilities for LSST, Vera Rubin LSST, and the NEO Surveyor mission expanded throughput. That, of course, includes the new data pipeline and some automation progress. Orbit fit tools are being incorporated into different elements of the pipeline. MPECT and NEOCP ADES data is available in ADES formats. There are other automation and through other pathways for orbit fitting that are also and reducing latency that are also being worked into the pipeline. There has, as probably mentioned earlier with the Rubin Observatory presentation, there are two-scale exercises are being conducted. There was one at the end of September and early October done with Rubin Observatory, and we're working towards similar exercises with NEO Surveyor. Help desk is being stood up, system engineering panels with members outside of the outside of the MPC are also being stood up in order to help inform us of our development. Note that interstellar objects no longer have an imposed assumption of solar system boundness on them. That has helped in identification of faster identification of interstellar candidates, object candidates, and then of course support of exercises like the Apophis 2020 discovery exercise is also being done through the MPC. Those are just my quick overview of recent developments, and that's what I have.